Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Approve the minutes of the May meeting, which will be received online.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Financial report, register of claims.
Oh, nice.
Let me get my ducks in order. Okay, so again, the number isn't there for you until page 5, but the May income was $128,169.59. Year-to-date total is $404,169.56. Looking at the claims, I didn't really see anything. There was a couple return check fees, but those obviously get passed back to the customer. The first one, I received a voicemail from him, and he was extremely not happy. I called him back and left him a voicemail with the kind of the same energy he gave me. Essentially what had happened with that one is the notice on the check was basically a duplicate check number. So it was like he wrote a check or used that check number for something else and tried to pay with the same check number, and the bank wouldn't do it.
Was
So,
protecting them, yeah.
yep. So, but he never called me back, so I'm assuming he got it figured out.
Kathy called me one day this week. I don't even know what day it was now. It may have been Monday. And she had a deed transfer ready to sign. And she wanted to know if she could run by and get me to sign it. And I said, yeah. So I signed it. And then about a half hour later, she called me and she said, can I come back again? I had you sign the wrong place.
It wasn't as quick as she thought.
We've had the last couple of approvals to sell properties. We've reached out to the people and let them know, like, yes, it's been approved. And then on that spreadsheet I sent you guys about the properties we own, I notated what was approved to sell, but really we haven't had too many people contact us back on it. I know that was probably Jason Price wanting to build his little commune in that Victory Hill area. But we had one that ran into a financial situation where she couldn't purchase it, but I just notated on there, they've already been approved to sell, so if they come back later, we can go ahead and deed rep it.
For some reason, it seems to run in groups. You
Yes.
go a long time and nobody shows any interest, then all of a sudden you got 2 or 3 people that are all interested. I don't understand how that happened. But
I wonder if it has to do with the amount of construction going on. If they see like a certain amount of
Running out of
houses
time.
coming up around them and they start to be like, ah,
get nervous and say,
Yeah,
I'm
It's
going to
motivating.
yes.
it could be something like that. Cause it's, when you think of the people out here that, that have multiple lots, and you stop and think, there can't be a whole lot or a great number of lots that are still available, you know.
You would think. I don't know.
I said it seemed to be plenty.
I was surprised with how many we still had available.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, you would think that if people have been holding them and paying the taxes and the BOA assessment on them all these years, waiting on thinking, well, maybe price will go up and I can make some money. It surely, yeah, a lot surely are getting close to what off water lots would be, you'd consider maximum,
Yeah, I think so too.
I've had a couple last week and this week sewer assessments come across for people selling their vacant lots because the buyers are Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just gonna keep growing.
Yeah.
I guess until it can't anymore.
Get an approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Administrative and
All right, so page 5. We had 2 connections since our last meeting, Victory Hill 613 and Gettysburg 631. Patriot Landing 48, it was connected as a detached garage. I just wanted to make a note that that was connected, but there's no additional billing to it because the property is deeded to a property with a home on it. The late fees were assessed or added to the accounts on the 16th. Heather's been doing the liens. There were 76 warning letters mailed out June 3rd. I think Kathy gave everyone 10 days. I think Heather ended up giving everyone about 2 weeks to make their payments. But ended up filing only 41 liens. So quite a few people got their letters and were like, oh, better get this taken care of. So those were filed and taken to the courthouse on the 17th. I did speak to Kathy about the sewer connection rate being in July. And she said the sewer connection rate is a court-ordered rate that only changes effective July 1st. So I have a feeling it's because it went into effect many, many years ago, the 1st of July. They're just keeping consistent with that date of it.
Okay, so if it goes in effect that date, you can't really delay it 6 months and start it later.
It has to be approved, and then as of July 1st, it
You have to
Raises.
go through the court again to change that probably. Right.
Yeah,
Find out where
probably.
they.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for
Yeah.
finding out.
Sorry, it's not the news we all wanted to hear, but at least we know now.
Yeah.
And then notes for Tiffany, the spring settlement was received in May.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
operations manager.
BL Anderson performed the annual calibration of the effluent flow meter. We did receive the 32 Trojan ultraviolet light bulbs. The cost was $14,234.87. We had one light bulb just burn out just a couple of weeks ago. But out of all those light bulbs we got, it's not affecting my results. So we're just gonna leave it in there, burn out, till we get more.
Yeah.
So when we change them, we're gonna change them all so they're the same light, you know. But so we're fine on that. Okay, Stevenson's Nutrient Solutions pump from our sludge loading station across the way here, down the hill across the creek, and knife sludge in using the drag line system in our 8 acres twice. On the 3rd, 127,000 gallons. And then just 2 days later, it came back on a Friday, it was a Wednesday, Friday, on the 5th, and they put in 110. And it worked great. It worked really nice, slick. The actual knifing in part only took 2 hours both days, 2 hours each day. So an hour to set
50
up.
some thousand gallons.
Yeah, they have 32 knives behind this big tractor they pull. So it just crawls and it's pumping evenly through all those knives in the ground. And it's so handy compared to not having to coordinate 3 trucks, load and haul, get them out there. They unhook, they got hooked to their pump and the tractor goes 5 feet and stops. Get a new truck, 5 feet and stop. I mean, it's huge difference, huge. So we're really hoping we can continue to do it this way when they're done with their other stuff and get us last. You know, and since Greasman's gonna plant grass instead of corn or a crop, it's not as crucial when it goes in, you know, or harvest time. So it just worked wonderful. So, okay, received a call from, well, You did.
I did.
From Matthew King, she related on us. Gaysburg 597 saying he had dead tree leaning over his property. Our lot is Gaysburg 596. Michael, Scott, and I all went and looked at it together, and Mr. King was there, and we talked to him. There's one dead, there's this big trunk coming up with like 5 branches of dead, and it's pretty tall. One going over his property, we could have took down and been fine, but the others are dead right there too, and there's grapevines and other little live trees that have to come out of the way, and there's just too many, if, things that could go wrong from us to do it. If it's simple, we would go there and knock it down and get it right. But so I texted, I left Vanderstar a message, and their message says, well, if you text us the information, would be better. So I did that. And then she responded right away and said, that was great. And she'd try to have Steve out there that night to give an estimate, but they didn't text me back. So this just happened this week. So it's only been like 3 days.
Yeah, with the storms made it.
I was about to
Oh,
say,
yeah.
hopefully-
Yeah, they're
Timing.
bombarded now, probably. And I figured it'd be a lot longer than that anyway, because tree trimmers are always bombarded.
Yeah,
There's always
yeah.
work.
Yeah,
They're always behind. Everyone I ever talked to is
yeah.
covered up. They don't need extra work.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I'm going to hire him to do it, because he'll have a bucket truck but the neighbor's nice. He understands the yard gets tore up or whatever too, but it shouldn't be too bad. But
They're
with
really
the bucket,
good. They're awesome. I mean, they take
First-
really good care of people's property when they're
Oh,
working
good.
on them, so.
good.
no
So
problem.
whatever their quote is, I'll probably have them do it.
Cool.
I needed to get our Hawk DR 3900. It's a spectrophotometer lab instrument calibrated, which is we do our ammonia tests with, and it'll do like 200 other things with it. With ammonia is what I use it for. And the only way Hawk calibrates that is with a year warranty, so it covers the labor and parts. And to calibrate it, they ship me a loaner. Then I have to ship them Mars, and then they'll ship it back. But the cost of that is $990 for the year, and there's like no other choice.
Yeah.
IDEM wants you to calibrate so they know it's accurate.
Yeah.
So we're kind of stuck with it. So
Yeah.
and she paid it this last register of claims. It's on the very next to the bottom, $990. So they want that money first before we go forward with anything. So now I can set up a time to proceed. That's what that's about. That's different than what you've been used to. So, I texted Josh too about when we had the flood the other day, it came down our hill out back and went down to the tow drain from the middle of the dam going that way. There's a culvert pipe where our road goes to there, and it came through the woods and washed riprap or stone, not riprap, just stone around the cul-de-sac pipe, and then put it in the end. And I just drove down there this morning, looked again, and it happened again. So what's happening is the rain's coming through the woods, like 2 different streams. And as you're going down our road on the left, we got riprap. Down toward the bottom, it's filled in with dirt and it's got level. So there's no ditch there anymore. So it's coming across and going on over and going out before the bridge to the left. It's eroded real bad and put all that gravel in the creek that Josh dug out a couple of years ago and put up on the bank. So I contacted him last night. He called me back this morning. So we're going to meet Friday and look at that. How to divert the water to keep that from happening again. He'll throw all that gravel back up and make it look pretty again. He looked at the sycamore tree. He doesn't have a price yet without doing more investigation, because the night they went and looked at it, it got dark on him, but it's a huge tree. So his only thought about doing it safely would be to get a big cable on it back in our field with the excavator and cut it with a chainsaw and pull it back in the field to actually take it down. The only safest way to do it. He don't think the roots of a sycamore tree are really long. He said he doesn't think it's going to fall anytime soon. The walnut in front of it will, and he when he's in that creek fixing the gravel, he can go down there and take that walnut out,
Cool.
remove it and do the other, but to give an estimated price on the sycamore, we'll have to look at it further to decide whether you guys want to spend the money or just let it go for a while.
Okay.
See, it's up to you. Well, when he does pull it down, I'd have him just cut it in chunks where he can shove it out of the field and get it back in the woods again. So that's our field where we put the sludge. So,
Yep.
and the hay. So,
You may also want to wait till the ground is firmer.
yeah,
Or whatever, yeah. So.
yeah, they do that.
The sycamore's all live, there's no dead.
It's live. There's a sycamore over at North Salem when you cross the cement bridge, and just when you leave North Salem, you look over the hill. And there's probably only a fourth of those roots in the bank still.
Wow.
They're all showing in the water, and it's been like that for years, and it's leaning like this.
Yeah.
And still there. So our sycamore probably be there a long time. I don't think it's a danger of falling. What I'm trying to say,
All right.
for a long time.
Yep.
Because of that, what it is. And it's not dead, but
All right. Yeah.
No, sycamore puts out a very extensive root system. You've seen them, I've seen them along a lot of creeks, where half the root system is just hanging out in the air, and still a big tree.
yeah, it's still alive. Yeah.
And it's good to have the discussion so we can share that information and understand. It looks dangerous as heck, but maybe it's just the way those are, and it's not a danger in reality, so that's okay.
Yeah,
It's
and
good to have the discussion though. for sure.
that's what he said. If they did take it down, they would cut it and leave the stump because all them roots will hold the bank
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a long,
there you
long
go.
time.
Sure,
Even if
sure.
they're dead, they'll hold the bank.
Yeah.
So when he gets a chance, I'll have him probably do the other work, whatever it is, because we
Yeah.
get that water going the right way.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked at it, but is there any way we could put a little diversion wall in or anything to,
I think they can just cut a swell deeper again
oh, okay.
and control it that way, and maybe rip wrapping it
Yeah.
again. And this is Josh Bowman and his brother Billy. They're doing a business on the side on Fridays. They work for Shannon 4 days a week, and then they're eventually taking over their dad's farm, and they're doing their own little excavation business. Shannon gives them little jobs that he don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is little jobs that Shannon don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
So that I'm just want to make that clear. When I said you might have thought it was McCullough, but it's actually Bowman.
Okay.
Bowman excavating.
Yeah, Bowman Excavating.
All right.
And they both do great work. So I think that's all I have.
Thank you.
Okay, public forum, Tom.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I guess I missed it, the connections to date.
17.
1770.
Yep, 1,770.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
One other thing, I don't know if the board has ever considered the remainder of the property that we still have, converting it to common ground.
You mean like giving it to the POA?
Not giving it to the POA, but converting it to common ground.
What do you mean common ground?
Like the more, like other common properties, where there's larger chunks.
So the public could go on at any time.
Oh.
Yeah. They got no parking.
Just a thought, I think that also would match the spirit of what the original board set up, why we procured the properties in the first place. I don't know, it's just a thought.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've considered or given it any thought.
I think we probably want to understand like what purpose, because not every lot is something that you maybe want people trudging through. I mean, there could be dangers and liabilities even, I suppose.
Yeah.
Depending on what we do with it or how much, not development in context of living spaces, but creating paths or something like that. I don't know what kind of things you're considering.
Yeah, I don't think, the Clear Creek would be liable if it was made common ground.
We still own it though, right? I mean,
That's
our ownership is our responsibility.
I think Tom's saying, kind of like what we've done with POA. We've made the offer multiple times, say if you want lot for any personal purpose, let us know. But they've never really come up with a plan. And I think I don't know if we have any more chunks anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
we made an agreement with the POA back years ago. I'm not saying years ago, probably 7, 8 years ago. Gave the POA the authority that if they had 5 lots together, they wanted to make a dog park out of, that they could do that, which is basically common property if the POA does it. So I don't know what else.
So the POA's always had the ability to come to the board here and ask for a chunk to do something with, right? So I think that's still on the table. It sounds like,
I
right?
mean, just with the concern about, open space being taken away.
Well, I mean, in the original design, that's what the common property is. And so these were originally platted as lots. And the reason why Clear Creek got involved to begin with is because people were defaulting on their lots. And so that was putting the rest of the freeholders in financial, they were bearing the burden of these lots that were constantly coming up with the auctions. That's why Clear Creek got involved with buying lots to begin with. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what's happening is people weren't paying their assessment that put the sewers in.
Correct, and then once.
And so that's why Clear Creek bought the lots to begin with, to preserve the other freeholders, so they wouldn't keep doing this, because the lots were cycling on the tax rolls again and again, and they were going for prices less than the cost to put the sewers in.
Yeah, 25.
So that's why Clear Creek got involved with buying the lots to begin
Yeah,
with.
that's why I thought it would be in the same spirit,
Yeah.
to preserve the open space.
The only
Just a
thing,
thought.
I think that's everybody's motivation with it, the POAs as well as the conservancy. So it's just a matter of POA has ideas about something they want to do with certain chunks of land. I'm sure entertain a discussion. It sounds like you've had that good relationship. So
what bothers me is the call about the trees.
Yeah.
Every time we get a call, the neighbor we got a tree come down, or then we got to deal with it. And I would like all the wooded lots to be gone, so we would have to deal with that. But the neighbors,
That would be a solution.
buy them, and this neighbor, he would love to buy it, but he doesn't have the money.
Yep.
But he was good to work with, blah, blah, blah. So, but the ones that do buy it, that's one less that will happen, that we'll get called out on in the future, because we get called out on one 5 years ago, well, that tree's growed up again, now it's over on my property, you gotta do it again. It's a repeat thing. Because some of these lots are really wooded, there's a lot in there. And they're right next to the houses, I mean, you got 8 feet, and then it's a problem.
Have you ever used Tordon on the stumps?
Well, no, I mean, another live tree next to it or whatever.
Oh, okay.
After they just trimmed the branches and left part of the tree live, still this way, but now it's trees sprouted coming back. And the neighbors have the right to cut them trees off. If they're coming over on their property, they absolutely have the right to trim that down.
Mhm.
But some of them aren't able to, they get, a ladder to do it, or so they call us, hey, it's a burden to us. And we weren't ever in the tree trim business in the first place, so we bought the lots. But the lots you make pretty good money off them now, selling them to recover that and cover that cost and everything. In the first place, we got recovered our money that we lost in the assessments in the beginning. So it was a great plan. I wouldn't want to give all the lots away because if we're still going to be called out to pay for
But I think
$3,000 or $4,000
that's
trees.
part of the issue, the
If
POA taking them though too, is they started, when they took them over, they
I,
didn't like the maintenance cost of
The
it.
maintenance cost of them.
I'm sure not a real estate attorney, but I don't understand how we could make the lots common property, which would mean if they were common property, the POA would have responsibility of all these trees and so forth, but we'd still own the lot. I don't understand.
Yeah.
It was like they would have to purchase them, right?
Yeah,
To be able to do that.
that's what I think.
I mean, it's just something maybe
Yeah.
to look
Yeah.
into. Get a better understanding. It's just a thought.
Yeah.
That's it, thank you.
Mhm.
Motion to adjourn?
Second,
All in favor?
I.
Sign it.